So CO2 is the gas that we're breathing out right now as we're talking. It provides the basis for plants to perform photosynthesis. And then the other thing it does is regulate the climate's temperature. However, if the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere gets too high, we'll start to have increasingly harmful effects on Earth's systems. So we really need to make sure there's not too much CO2 in the atmosphere.
Well, over the past century or so, as the world has seen incredible economic growth and economic development, people have gained access to transportation, to electricity, and this has really improved our lives. But at the same time, as we've gotten access to all of these products and all of this energy, we've been emitting these greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. And so the movement towards the energy transition is to produce these same products, but in a way that doesn't emit so much of these greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
So CCS, carbon capture and storage, basically you're taking carbon dioxide that would normally be emitted into the atmosphere, you're capturing it and storing it in some way.
We'd be putting the CO2 in the ground where nothing can kind of move up or down. Things in the sand layers stay there. That layer cake approach to how things work makes the geology of Louisiana perfect. If they were going to plan a place to do CCUS, Louisiana would be the place to do it.
The carbon that we took from under the ground actually came from living organisms about 400 million years ago. And so, geology and time and pressure and temperature really turned that into fossil fuels. We take them out at an enormous rate. And right now we put all of that, after we're finished with it, we put it into the atmosphere. And so the idea here is that you put it back where it came from, back underground, and that way it doesn't go into the atmosphere.
Companies aren't just allowed to kind of build these things wherever they want. There is a thoughtful process that is involved. And they have to follow EPA permitting for the injection process.
That's one of the great things about the way the Class 6 permitting process works. They have a well construction part of them, but they are also an area of review. It's left up to the operator, but the regulatory agencies will approve or disapprove what they propose. We've emitted a lot of CO2. It's accumulated in the environment. Stopping that process is step one. And to me, CCUS is the step one that does that fastest.
So when we talk about the energy transition, I also think it's important that people realize that carbon capture is just one piece of this massive puzzle, right? So you've got carbon capture, right? We've got renewable energy, you've got bio in this, and some of the industry people I've talked to have even talked about nuclear energy and how it will help us get to this energy transition. I think when you look at all of these varying degrees of processes, that's how we're really going to get to notice and understand, looking back in 25 years, what this energy transition really means for today, but also for the generations that are yet to come.
Louisiana is a world leader, at least also in terms of the US, we're number one in terms of ammonia production. We not only use it to do a third of America's fertilizer, we ship crops all over the world. So that ammonia production and the CO2, making that sustainable is a really big deal.
Kind of what I've unanimously heard from companies is that really it's that longer term competitiveness that they're really, really focused on. If we're gonna reduce global emissions, we have to really take a global approach.
And so as a result of this energy transition, carbon capture, there's gonna be more jobs, right? There's gonna be more jobs that pay a higher, more sustainable living wage. And I think that benefits everyone in the long run.
It's great to think, okay, tomorrow we're gonna wake up and everything's gonna be clean, but with no jobs, where is that gonna leave us? We have enough problems here. It's just a common sense thing that you can't just make an industry get up and leave. And I think that the advantages far outweigh the risk.
There's a lot of pressure from consumers, boards, to become more environmentally sustainable, and we have the right geology, we have the right existing workforce to be able to do that transition. If we don't continue to do the research and development and accept the technologies that have been developed, there's no way that we can continue to sustain manufacturing the way that we are doing it today.
Some of these projects are $1 billion expansion for area plants. Jobs, economic impact. We don't have industry, our grandchildren and children leave. Let's keep them here.